welcome back to another Tribal Wars video. This week I have quite a beastly deck for you. It's beasts. Basic idea of the deck is to take advantage of MacLeod Guardian, enter the battlefield, exile another target permanent you control and return that card to the battlefield under its control. So, big way to take advantage of it is Kiki Mirror Breaker, create a copy of the MacLeod Guardian, then the copy comes into play, it flickers the Kiki, and you can do it over and over again. It goes infinite and you win the game. But alongside that, we've got just good enter the battlefield ability beasts like Thragtusk. So we've got Thragtusk, Obstinate Baloth, Gruul Rage Beast. When it or another creature enters the battlefield and you control, that creature fights target creature an opponent controls. And then just some non-beast ones. Oh, Manglehorn. It's Manglehorn for the destroying artifacts. And then we've got Eternal Witness and Nissa Vaswood Seer. Kiki also, obviously, even if you're not going infinite, if you're just copying a Thragtusk every turn, that's pretty good. And to support all this very expensive stuff, we've got Birds of Paradise, Avison's Pilgrim, to jump this huge gap I've got at 2. Croson Tusker, cycle it to search up basic lands. Nissa to get lands, also flicker it to get more. Croson Warchief is a cost reduction for beasts, also you pay 2 to regenerate one. And I've got Wall of Blossoms just as a good flicker target, good wall in the good blocker in the early game, and against Green Sun Zenith target, because we've got Green Sun Zenith to sort of tie the whole room together. Dryad Arbor to use it on one, and then obviously any of the ramp spells in the early game, or something big and dangerous like a Thragtusk in the late game. There's also Stampeding Shero. Beginning of your upkeep, return a green creature you control to its hand. So it's obviously pretty awkward if you don't have a green creature, another green creature in place. It returns itself to your hand. So I'm only running one, but it's obviously good with any of the into the battlefield green creatures. Souls of Plowshares, you probably understand why I'm playing that. And then there's an Eerie Interlude, which exiling the number of target creatures you control, return those cards to the battlefield when their owners control the next end step. Which is especially good with Eternal Witness, because you can, if Eternal Witness is one of the things you flicker in, you can get Eerie Interlude back, and then you can flicker all your creatures every turn. So I think it is a reasonably powerful deck, but it does have some fairly evident points of failure, which is the low end of the scale. I mean, Green Sun Zenith effectively can be anywhere along here, but if I'm unable to stick a bird like an accelerator in the early turns, if I don't have one, or if it just dies instantaneously, then the deck is just very, very slow. I mean, we've got Obstinate Baloth and Thragtusk to try and they're good at stabilising against aggressive decks, but it's just a deck which is quite capable of being tempoed out by the opponent. Well, the other unfortunate thing is Green Sun Zenith can only get green creatures, and the combo is red and white, so that makes the combo side of things a lot less reliable. Anything of note in the mana base is outside of the just fetch lands and dual lands is a couple of Croson Verges, which is enters tapped, can only create colourless, and you sack it for 2 to search for a forest and a plains card, put them into play. So if I'm in a situation where, well, it's just a way, another form of ramp. Right, I think that is everything worth rambling about. Right, here we are for round 1, playing against Nagarjuna, and I am on the play with an acceptable hand. I've got a 1-drop, so keeping that. Based on this starting hand, it'll probably be Birds of Paradise into Croson Tusker, assuming the birds doesn't immediately die. And then I might be able to just Eternal Witness back to the Croson Tusker. Obviously depends what I draw, but Okay, a Cloud Post deck. So yeah, no need to do this right now, do it end of turn. So the best way of beating a Cloud Post deck is probably going to be the actual comboing off with Kiki Jiki. They're not likely to have a lot of instant speed removal or interaction. Let's grab a mountain. Well, halfway there. Okay. So let's gonna have a look at the deck again, see what I've got at 3 for the green Swansea I could get. Just really Nissa is the only one that would be particularly relevant here. Or I could go for 2 and get Wall of Blossoms and then play Dryad Arbor. Or I could just eat when it's back the Croson Tusker. I'm going to green Swansea for the wall because it gives something for the Fellow Dark Guardian to blink, and I'd kind of like to keep the Eternal Witness in case the Fellow Dark Guardian dies. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm facing an Eldrazi deck. Okay, Collected Portal. This is the very complicated thing which amounts to Naga gets to draw an extra card every turn. I think I'm just going to go for a Thragtusk. Uses all my mana and is resistant to an all his dust. Yeah, let's go for it. This is 3, 4, 5, 6 mana for Eldrazi. Endbringer. Untap during each of the players on tap step, deals 1 damage to any target, and spend a colorless to can't attack or block and 2 for draw a card. Okay, so I'll just sort that away. Attack for 6, and then play out the Fellow Dark Guardian to, which is more valuable right now, drawing a card with Wall of Blossoms or creating a 3/3. I want to say drawing a card. Is that right? So I've got 5, 6, 7 power in play. That's 3 hits. Yeah, an extra 3 damage is puts up to 10, which is 2 hits. So I think the card draw is more useful. Another Swords of Power Share is not bad. I mean, potentially depending on what exactly Naga plays. Okay, so I suppose now the 3/3 would have made a difference to the clock. Sets all the dust, yeah. So okay, I'm pretty glad I did draw a card that time then. Swing 3, and I'll play the Eternal Witness and get back the Felidar Guardian, and then I can use the Felidar Guardian to use Eternal Witness to get anything else back that I need. And I can play Birds of Paradise. So that is a lot more mana. Maybe we're getting into the range where look at the top card of your library any time, cast the top card of your library if it's an artifact card or a colorless non-land card. So that's probably all of his deck, except for lands. Pay 1 life to exile the top, okay. So I feel like I might struggle to win the Valley game. That's a Glimmer Post on top. Go into the Great Unknown of the Exile Zone. This is a 5/5 Endless one. Okay. So I can sword the Endless one again and attack for 5, put Naga back down to 20. And then play a Crimson War Chief, I suppose. And Birds of Paradise. I can't hold up regeneration mana anyway, so. Spatial Contortion. I think that might have been a Spatial Contortion off the top. It's not especially clear. Well, no, Glimmer Post got exiled off the top at any rate. Endbringer. That was cast from hand, I think. I think the only thing that makes it clear is just watching how many cards he's got in hand. And a Matter Reshaper. And that was Thespian's first stage turning into a Cloud Post. So I guess I probably need to Felidar Guardian, Bouncy Eternal Witness, get back a Swords, Swords the Endbringer. I don't think I could beat Endbringer if it's allowed to untap. Just kill so many of my creatures. kind of feel like there's this point my only option to win will be to find Kiki Jiki and combo off. I just don't. Doesn't seem very likely I'm going to be able to fight past everything that Nilo's done. He's just back up to 24 life here before he just is able to cast something that beats me. Having said that, I don't really think it's worth treating the beast with a Matter Reshaper. Okay, now I get to look at my thought knots. Got to assume Croson Warchief will be going here. Yep. And there's all this dust. So don't have a lot of hope at this point. I think this is 5, 8, 12, 16, so pretty confident there's no way I can win from this point. This hand doesn't seem super great against a Cloud Post deck, but I'm not sure my deck has a hand which looks super great against a Cloud Post deck. Yeah, let's just keep it. I'm not sure what I'd be mulliganing to anyway. So this hand at least has a curve that could work out. Actually, yeah, I'll go for Croson Warchief first, rather than Croson Tusker. Is that right? It's possible not. It's not. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for the Croson Warchief just because I kind of start attacking with it. Never mind, it's dying anyway. Yeah, on the same basis, I kind of start attacking with it. I'm going to play out the Nissa rather than attacking the Tusker. Also, there's less targets for Nissa than the Tusker in the deck, so on the off chance I just draw a bunch of forests in a row, I'd rather get the Nissa down first. Thought not. It's possible that Naga is just reading what Stampeding Pharaoh is at the moment. Not the most commonly played card. And Stampeding Pharaoh goes. Guess let's just play the Bail off. Trade with the Thought Nazi. I suppose if there's all this dust here, I might regret that. Okay, just a Mystic Forge. That was a Thought Nazi from the hand. And there goes the Crimson Tusker. Kind of surprised at the attack, but I'll happily trade off my Bail for a draw. Attacking with the Thought Nazi at least indicates that Naga doesn't have an all his dust now. So I am just going to play out the Third Eye Guardian and bounce the Nissa. Get the last basic forest out of the deck. Just trying to think if there's any reason it makes sense to play out the Birds of Paradise, any reason it makes sense to hold it in hand. I suppose if there's an all this dust at some point soon, I might need it for the red mana to get Kiki-Jiki as my only hope. Again. Okay. Is there anything that I've got going on that's threatening enough to justify a down tick? Oh well, Special Contortion takes care of the Nissa anyway. And then, so when it leaves the battlefield, put the exile card into your hand. Georgia Temple got exiled. And then I'm getting hit for 4. Green Sun Zenith. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. It's not quite enough to get the big fighty creature, which could then eat the Thought-Knot here. Could get Manglehorn to blow up the Mystic Forge. E-Witness, but I haven't got anything too important in the graveyard at the moment. Nissa, basically. Or I could just get a Thragtusk. I think I want to blow up the Mystic Forge. I mean, I still have the problem of what to do about the Ugin, but at least that stops the Mystic Forge from immediately drowning me in value. So I'm using the Felidar Guardian. Okay. The things I'm thinking about here are searching up a Dryad Arbor with the Windswept Heath, just to have another 1/1 for whatever benefit that gives me. Whether or not it makes sense to attack the Manglehorn into the Ugin. I mean, I guess it just puts this card into. I'm trading my Manglehorn to put a card into Naga's hand. I'm going to play out the bird and then just pass the turn. I can Eerie Interlude to say my creature's in the face of an all is dust. Or a bigger Ugin as well. Okay, I don't mind taking 6, that's fine by me. I haven't got any problems with that, no. Greenstone Zenith, okay. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could go for Thragtusk. That doesn't let me hold up Area Interlude though. I go for an E-Witness. Get back Felidar Guardian maybe. Yeah, I think I prefer that. Grab the Eternal Witness. Just get the Felidar Guardian. Now I'm in the position where I can Area Interlude and Eternal Witness repeatedly. I mean, I'm just gonna. If there's an All This Dust or something here, I'm just gonna be dead. secondary interlude, but I'm still getting hit for 8. So I guess it doesn't make any sense not to just play out the Fellow Dark Guardian. Grab the Obstinate Bailoff. And then we'll just find out what horrible things happen to me on the next turn. Yeah, that's an Knowledge Dust. And I'm dead. Okay, we're on to round 2 versus Lovetax NTGM on the play with a pretty sketchy hand. I mean, Green Sun Zenith on turn 1 for a Triad Arbor, but then I'm not even necessarily getting anything going. I mean, if I get to 3 mana, then Grayson Tusk can probably save me. But that assumes I draw another land and my Dryad Arbor doesn't die, so it seems like a bit too much of a risk. Okay, well, Kikijiki's got nothing to go with it right now, but I think I will still keep this. Put back Basic Forest, because Nissa can search that back up anyway. Let's keep this. Forest goes to the bottom. Yeah, goes to the bottom. I suppose it's playing Arid Mesa just in case I want to Swords to Plowshare something incredibly terrifying on turn 1. Scrambling Claws. Target player exiles a card from the graveyard and sacrifice it to exile target from a graveyard and draw a card. Okay, well that might render my Eternal Witness useless, but I've only got 1 in the deck. Suppose it makes sense to thin out the deck at this point. Probably got. Well, I've got these 3 lands plus Nissa's 4. Well, I do have a 5-drop. I haven't had anything to make the 5-drop good yet, so I'd rather draw that before my 5th land. What do we want? Plateau, I suppose. Yeah. Give me 3 red. I'm not going to bother just do anything I've got for 1 mana for the Green Sun Zenith to find up his mana dogs. I don't think that's what I want to do here. I'd rather Green Sun Zenith for 2 or 3 to get something that Kiki can copy. So I have to say, after 2 mountains and a Scrabbling Claws, I have no idea what I'm facing here. Windswept Heath up the Savannah, I guess. Play out Nissa. Very annoying this kind of card in Relic of Progenitus on Magic Online. So you do have to select which card you're you're exiling, even if there is only 1 in there. And I have a 2-2 on turn 3, so, you know, behold the power of my deck. Crystal Vein. And a Morph. Not really sure what that Morph would be. So like a green suns for what? Even it doesn't do anything, obviously. Manglehorn, I suppose I could take out the Scrabbling Claws while Love is tapped out. I suppose it's possible the presence of Scrabbling Claws might indicate that there's a desire to have artifacts in the deck. Or I could get a Wall of Blossoms or whatever. I think I'm just going to cycle the Tusker. See what I get. Try and figure out what I'm facing before I commit to a Green Sun Zenith target. Also lets me hold up Swords to Plowshares, which is potentially quite useful. And if I can get up to enough mana to Green Suns for a Thragtusk plus Kikijiki is pretty nice. More Morphs. Okay, just gets exiled. Let's go from Mountain, I suppose. And I got Plains as well anyway. Okay, I think I'm gonna just play out a Kikijiki that can't really do anything. I mean, well, this is certainly putting Kiki in a bit of danger. It would allow me to Kiki this turn and then next turn Green Sun for a Thragtusk, create a token and attack with it. No, maybe this is just too much needless risk. It's not like I'm being pressured super hard or anything. I'll just pass the turn. Each player draws 3 cards and discards 3 cards at random. This might be very bad for me. Nope. Battering Tricorn. Morph. First right. Goat Beast. Curlos Yearling. A Goat Beast. Mountain Walk. Great shot. Hollow one. least not. The hollow ones aren't goats or beasts. Okay, sure, that's fine. Let's just cycle Tusker. How many lands is it? Control 7 or more lands. Okay. Ooh. Perfect. Drew a Thragtusk. And a Felidar Guardian. Alright, well, I suppose it makes the most sense to Felidar Guardian, bounce the Nissa, hold up swords, and then next turn I can probably just Kiki Jiki for the win. I suppose I might be putting myself at some risk to like a lightning bolt, just killing the Kiki Jiki. Yeah, let's just play Thragtusk. Thragtusk, and then next turn I can Felidar Guardian the Thragtusk. Puts me a lot further away from dying to what my opponent's got going on. Okay, I suppose I'll block a morph. If there's anything too terrifying, I can swords it. 3 on first strike. It seems like it's worth turning into a farmer. Attack the Thragtusk. The hollow one trades off for it. I won't have Thragtusk to Felidar Guardian, but I don't think that's super likely, and it's fine if it does. So let's flip the Nissa back over to its other side. And the fetch land does also technically allow. Oh yeah. So Pyrokinesis exiles close Yearling, but I can crack them, fetch land, grab a land, and that triggers Nissa again. And she'll exile, come back as a planeswalker, and then the Pyrokinesis won't have a target. Okay, this seems like a Mana Dog heavy hand, but an acceptable one. Oh, I hadn't noticed that I've been put on the play. There's a Gemstone Cavern, exiling Crested Cragthorn. I'm going to run out of Everton's Pilgrim just in case there's a lightning bolt. I'd rather have that die than the birds. So turn 1 Gemstone Caverns, but then nothing to capitalise on it, it seems. So options are just a wall of blossoms, which if I hit a land drop, that would be pretty good, or I could birds and zenith for like a dryad arbor or something. Let's get my mana going. I'm just gonna take the wall of blossoms route. I'd like to hit my land, but it's not a disaster if I don't. I'm playing out Wall of Blossoms at least does set up a target for Felidar Guardian further down the line. Alright, I guess I'm going for the Birds of Paradise plus Greenstone Zenith. For a Dryad Arbor. Oh no, I can't do that, can I? So I played out the Avacyn's Pilgrim instead of the Birds of Paradise. Well, this way I'll at least be able to Croak and Tusker, assuming that one of my creatures survive. Faithless Looting. So I might see a whatever the nameless one. Or maybe there'll be a couple of nameless ones or something. That would make sense. Well, you'd keep that kind of hand. A hollow one. Did I say nameless one? Hollow one. Yeah, a pair of hollow ones. So it's Tusker and see what we draw. It's got white mana, I suppose. I think I'm pretty fine. Just I've chumped with the Wall of Blossoms here. I think my plan will probably involve Greenstone Zenith for a Mango Horn. Then I can flicker that to kill both the two hollow ones. And an Eternal Scourge. So that kind of explains the Gemstone Cavern stuff. Or helps explain it. Because you can exile it, the Eternal Scourge to the Gemstone Caverns, and then just play it later on. Could also just play a Thragtusk. Yeah, that seems like a fine way of stabilising the board. Fairly classic way as well. And a Moth. So now it's a 6 mana. I think I'm inclined to just Thragtusk again. Suppose I could play a pair of Croson War Chiefs as well. Let's go for another Thragtusk. How wrong can playing a Thragtusk ever be? So I presume this is the first strike guy. I think I'm happy enough just training with the Hollow One and the Eternal Scourge. There's Scrabbling Claws. So I probably don't want to get an Eternal Witness with my Zenith. Ah, it's exiling the Eternal Scourge. So now I could get an E-Witness if I wanted. I think I'm just going to play out a pair of Crows and War Chiefs here actually. Pretty fine just taking 5 here. Faithless looting getting flashback. Just a couple more lands getting ditched. And another Scrabbling Claws. Which are now going to annoy me. Hey, another Thragtusk. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's only costs 3, it's only costs 2. So I'm just going to attack with them. Okay, and that just wins the match. And here we are for round 3 versus Kumigoro on the play, and with a pretty slow hand. Yeah, I've got to think this is the number of decks this will work against is pretty low, so it's more like this. Okay, well this is got a lot of mana going for it. I guess I should keep this rather than go down to 5 and ditch a mountain, I suppose. Yeah, I could go turn 1 Greensun Zenith for a Dried Armor into turn 2 Croton War Chief, but then what? Then I'm just going to go for the Croton Verge, play things a bit slower. Try and hopefully use the Greensun Zenith for something a little bit more impressive. Young Wolf, is this a wolf deck? Got to imagine it probably is. Alright, I guess I'm just playing it. I don't know. Oh! Okay, so I just skipped my turn for no reason there. Clicked Iron Mace, but it didn't actually register. But it did obviously it did register my passing of the turn, so that is very bad for me. Another young wolf. And a third young wolf. Alright, well at this point I don't think I have the time to not play the Green Sun Zenith for a mana dark. Okay, good. Another Green Sun Zenith, so might be able to use that for like a Thragtusk or something to help stabilise this position. Yeah, I suppose I can just play out a Crimson War Chief, see if that survives. Kissy Dwarf Run makes things a bit harder for me. So if I block one of these youthful wolves, my Crimson War Chief, I'll be trading the War Chief for half of a Young Wolf and taking up the opponent's turn. Probably what I'm going to be facing here if I don't block is the 4 mana Flash Lord that creates tokens at the end of every turn or something that you don't play anything. That's probably not enough of a justification for blocking. Just to get lucky that it's not the Nightpack Amateur or something I think it's called. So what's this? Creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample. So it's 3 damage to any target. Transfer it back. I think I might have to Green Sun Zenith for an Obstinate Baloth. Whereas I could just Green Sun Zenith for a Wall of Blossoms. Yeah, I kind of like that better. This way I can at least regenerate the block and regenerate the War Chief. What does the emblem do? There's creatures haste and the I don't know, whatever the one-sided fight is called. There's Silver Heart, okay. It's quite a lot of power. So I'm going to attack for 13 here. So just block. Take 9, regenerate this beast. Kind of feel like I need to get a sword to plowshares to be able to deal with this wolf first a little bit hard. So getting an attack for 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, I'm nowhere near 20 points of toughness. So I think I'm just dead. I can Felidar Guardian for again to bounce the blood blossoms again, but it's just at that point there's nothing to draw. Okay, this seems like a fine Dried Arbor into Frozen War Chief into 4 drops kind of hand. Let's get Plateau. I want the white and I want the red for Kikijiki, if that ever comes up. Vivian's Arcbow. Ooh, a Kikijiki. So this is a discard a card and look at the pay X and look at the top X cards in your library. May put a creature card with a great amount of X or less from them onto the battlefield. Alright, so I suppose I'll just attack with 3 and bait off. Or maybe I'll just Kikijiki to create a unending wave of optional bail-offs. Or maybe I'll Kikijiki to make an actually unending wave of Felidar Guardians. Let's just attack the bail-off. I don't particularly want to have to do anything except for what's saying. I suppose I could have attacked the Frozen War Chief, so I could just regenerate it if the Arcbow made something relevant that could block it. Warfare Avenger. Okay, so I'm pretty glad I didn't. Well, reasonably glad I didn't attack because it wouldn't have been disastrous because of the regen, but it would have been a waste of my time. So this looks like it could, well, I suppose at any point it could just be the Vivian's Arcbow, but it could also be the 4-mana Flash Wolf Lord thing. Nightpack Ambusher, I think it's called. But it could also just be like a Sword to Plowshares. I suppose it's still fine just running out the taking the chance and running out the Kikijiki. If Kuma has to spend removal. Nope, there we go. I'm going to say if Kuga has to spend removal, at least that means he won't have to play out the Nightpack Ambusher if he's got one. Okay. Well, there's kind of a big gap between Avacyn's Pilgrim and Thragtusk, but I'm keeping this. I mean, I've got a Sword to Plowshares, so nothing too bad can happen to me. Is it a Young Wolf? No, it's a Noble Hierarch. I really think it's necessary to. Yeah, I think I'd rather save the Swords to Plowshares for something powerful that gets played, rather than taking out the Noble Hierarch. Play a Pilgrim. Yeah, I guess that's got to be a Wolf Fear Avenger. So, no attacks. Indeed it is. Choose a target creature you don't control. Each creature you control is a wolf or a werewolf deals damage equal to its power to that creature. Okay, I guess I'm swordsing the Wolfer Avenger then. Get hit for one. I think I'm just going to play fetch for a Dryad Arbor. Just to have that extra bit of damage, power and toughness on the board. I guess I should play the Stampede Serge because at worst it can bounce itself back. I guess it stops the Noble Hierarch from attacking. But I don't really want to bounce out of my mana freezing creatures, so I want to play Thragtusk next turn. And there's an Arcbow. An Arcbow with without a lot of mana to go with it is not the scariest thing in the world, though. And a Watchwolf. Ooh, a cool Wage Beast. I'm still a mana away from that, though, aren't I? So I guess I will Kikijiki up a copy of Thragtusk and play Birds of Paradise. And if there is a better feeling than making a Kiki-Jiki copy of Thragtusk in the world, I don't know what it is. I guess maybe creating a Thragtusk copy with Kiki-Jiki while having a Cruel Rage Beast in play might be a little bit nicer. Let's Rage Beast away the Watch Wolf. And then create a Thragtusk and have that fight the Noble Hierarch. Is this going to be the Night Pack ambush that I've been talking about the entire... Yeah, it is! The entire match. Apparently the game is so surprised it's crashed on me. Oh, there you go. I guess I'm probably fine trading the Thragtusk for a Night Pack ambusher. Since I do have a Green Sun Zenith, it can become another Thragtusk. But yeah, just jump back from the Young Wolf. Makes sense. I suppose my token will have to fight the Young Wolf. Because this is not optional. So it can cause problems, but it was pretty good this time. Right then, here we are back with the deck after a perfectly respectable 2-1 finish. I got crushed pretty badly in round 1 against Cloud Post, which is the Eldrazi Cloud Post deck, which is not really surprising. That my deck isn't fast enough to win before the Cloud Post stuff gets going, and the high end isn't high enough to compete with the big Eldrazi stuff. I think I mentioned in the game itself that the only way I'm going to win that kind of matchup, or the main way I'm going to win that kind of matchup, is Kiki-Jiki Felder Guardian combo, which it's not. With just 2 Kiki-Jikis in the deck, it's not super reliable. I think the way to improve that would be to change out the Green Sun Zeniths for something that can actually search up these combo pieces. One thought I had was Eladamri's Call instead. I mean, it's obviously not as good in terms of shoring up this early game stuff. He's spending minimum 2 mana and then plus whatever it costs to play the thing, rather than just X plus green. My other thought was maybe Chord of Calling, which is probably even worse than Hello Diary's Call for the showing up the early stuff. But the Convoke's useful for getting it in, getting the top stuff in a more timely manner, and it can put things straight onto the battlefield. And it is an instant speed card, which has some advantages. It is just a trade-off between the Green Sun Zenith, the efficiency of the Green Sun Zenith, and which the deck does kind of want because of how top heavy it is, and the greater flexibility of the stuff that can more expensive tutors. Other than that, the only really real issue I had with the deck was it didn't. Well, the only other problem I identified with the deck was just in the mana base. I mean, it didn't really negatively affect me in this event, but I did notice that in the Cloudpost matchup, the Birds of Paradise were often the third red source that I'd need to get the Kikijiki going, and they died to all this dust. So I think possibly I need to rearrange the mana base a little bit to just get some more red in there, so I can reliably have all 3 red for the Kikijiki. I mean, maybe it's just an issue of the Tiger or Plateau instead of some of the basic lands. But I mean, there is the Crows and Tusker and the Nissa do want me to play a certain amount of basics, so there's a bit of give and take there. Yeah, I think that is everything I have to say about it, really. I mean, I got to Kikijiki plus Thragtusk, and I'm not going to complain after having been able to do that. So, thank you very much for watching.